I was in a long-term committed relationship with this guy who turned out to be a rapist, right? And I genuinely loved him. I really loved him. In 2015, I was sexually assaulted. I think when I was young, I didn't know what a healthy relationship looked like. And I did actually stay with him for another 6 more months in this sort of like really toxic and unhealthy relationship. What happened was that he threatened to commit suicide. So he was like, if you leave me, I'll kill myself and then it'll be your fault that I died. And at that point in time, I did not know how to respond. I was just like, oh, I guess I have to stay with you then because of course I don't want him to die. It was what I thought was the best action at that point in time. It was what I thought was the right thing to do. I still feel a lot of complex emotions around this whole thing because part of me is like, why are you so stupid? Why do you do that, right? But then part of me is like, okay, I need to forgive myself. For the longest time, I really felt that like my judgment of people was broken. And so then it became this whole thing when I was like, if I can be so wrong in my judgment of someone, I can love this person who turned out to be a violent rapist, then how can I trust myself ever again, right? After what happened to me, I became depressed, which is a perfectly reasonable response to being sexually assaulted. So I went for therapy. It was very basic survival because in those 6 months, I was still in the abusive relationship. And then once I actually cut him off from my life, I thought I would get better, but no, I actually got even more depressed. So when Me Too came around, I felt empowered by the movement to share my story. And so I did. It's not just like, oh, that moment I got raped and that's the only thing that happened. No, it's like, you know, the emotional manipulation, it's the reactions from my friends after, it's the police reporting, there's so many things that happen. So I think making art and comics is a good way for me to engage with all these little things in like bite-sized chunks. And I think once I shared it openly on Facebook, it was like kind of like a relief. I feel that it's really important to share it publicly because there are people who have spoken to me about their own experiences and said things like, thank you for sharing. This is the first time I've ever told anyone. And I think that breaks my heart every single time. And it's not uncommon. More often than not, probably someone in your life has been sexually assaulted. This is an issue that does not just affect people who have been assaulted, it affects everybody. I think for me, the fact that like I have been able to help just like even one person, it gives me a reason to keep going, I guess. As much as I can, I will continue.